Hello, it is May 31st, 2026, and this is the garden update year 3, I'm pretty sure. If it's not correct, I'll put something in the comments, or the rest of the video. So starting off here, we have the Viola Sororia. It has cordate leaves, so like heart-shaped. Right here, let me see if I can focus. Cordate leaves. I don't think this one has flowered yet. But these are, oh yeah, there's a couple of them emerging the flower, like right there. Yeah. I think this is the Asclepias incarnata, the ice ballet species. I'll put a picture of what that looks like. If it is, I think I'm gonna dig it up, because cultivars are bad for genetic diversity, and it could transfer like inferior genetics that don't support the pollinators into the gene pool. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the normal Asclepias incarnata, and you can see it's already supporting some type of fly right there. So even like a single leaf can be habitat for an insect right there. Isn't that cool? And because they don't want to just sit on a piece of cement or like a brick wall, they want to be in the natural habitat. This flowers every year. It's still early in the season, so I don't think this is gonna flower anytime soon. But it's nice to have it there. This is I kind of forgot about this one. This is Geum triflorum. Right here, has the heavily lobed leaves, a strong pubescence on the leaves. I don't know all the proper words for their pubescence, but the leaves are very fuzzy, and as you can probably see right here, yeah, they're very fuzzy, and that's cool. This should flower, or it's gonna flower earlier in the season. Yeah, I don't think it flowered early in the season because I would have seen the seed head. But right there, there you go. This is the Rudbeckia subtomentosa. And it's this gets really big, and it usually flops over on itself. So I'm gonna have to do the Chelsea chop and cut it back because there's not enough plants to grow against it and support it. Yeah, that's cool. This is the Conoclinium celestinum, the blue mist flower, and this spreads very aggressively by rhizomes, but I like aggressive natives because they outcompete the invasives and stuff like that. So I'm happy to see that. This is a very late season bloomer, so I'll see that later in the season when I do an update. This is part of my lawn that I destroyed right here, and I flipped the turf back on it because my dad made me. But I'm gonna plant like some Lilium michiganensis, the Michigan lily and stuff like that along this area and expand the flower bed. I only have 16 minutes left of footage, so I'm gonna try and make this quick. This is the Allium schoenoprasum. It's Var album, so it's the albino variety. I don't think this is a cultivar. But it's definitely, I think it's a natural variety of a native species. And I live in, I don't want to say the exact location, but I live in Chicago, Illinois, the suburbs, so this is a native here. I think you might be able to eat this, and it has a strong onion smell, but it's only here for the pollinators and stuff like that. This is the Vernania fasciculata, the tall ironweed. It has toothed margins, kind of like a hacksaw blade, and has lanceolate leaves because they're kind of shaped like a spearhead. Maybe it has different leaf shapes. Alternate leaves, because you can see it's alternate right there, where they don't come off exactly from the same point, like opposite. And it's still very early in the season, so this will be blooming later. Alright, so let me get further in here now. This is more Conoclinium celestinum. This is Spigelia marlandica, and it's a cultivar, so I might dig this up because I don't like cultivars. I like the wild type species, but they didn't sell any wild type species of the Spigelia marlandica, at least where I bought them at. It kind of has perfoliate leaves because there's like there's like a collar there, and there's not, you don't really see the stipules, or not the stipules, you don't see the petioles of the leaves right there. So this is gonna be blooming pretty soon, as you can see. Here, let me just try and focus. Yeah, so those are the blooms right there. It's gonna bloom soon. Not sure when. But it is a cultivar, and I'm not sure. I think this is another Vernania fasciculata, but it looks different. Like if you look at the leaves, they're not toothed really at all. Oh, there's a little bit. Okay, let me zoom in. I'm casting a shadow. But yeah, this is another Vernania fasciculata, the ironweed. I think it's a younger version, that's why it doesn't have the whatever you call it on the leaves, the very serrated margins. And this is a Penstemon digitalis. It took me a minute to remember, and this was spread by seed from, I think it was this one right here, because this one's much taller right there, and then there's this. So it's gonna take a while before this flowers and reaches maturity, and I think this is starting to get ready to flower. I'll get a closer video of this soon. This is the Silphium terebinthinaceum, the Prairie Dock. I have a shirt that I bought from Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't about this. It's a pretty good one. Yeah, but I like this here. And this will get 8 feet tall at maturity. I just put this in yesterday. This is one of my favorites. It's the Dryopteris marginalis leatherwood fern. And you see the pinnules on the leaves. I don't know a terrible lot about ferns, but it's a pretty one. And it gets some shade from this arborvitae. And please ignore Euonymus fortunei. I need to get rid of that, but it's growing on the neighbor's side of the fence. And I need to ask permission to put herbicide or something on it, or whatever. But yeah, it's always a fight against the invasives. Sorry, that wasn't recording. Yeah, I'm gonna put herbicide on it, or like just rip it up as much as I can. But yeah, so moving on. Yeah, I think this is a panicle flower cluster, and you can see I got orange pollen on my hand, right there, because if, let me get a close-up of this flower. Right there. And this is, I don't know what you call it. No, I do know what you call it. It's, Heuchera richardsoni. They have a lot of Heucheras, the ones with, the anthocyanin pigments and carotenoid pigments, at like Chalet, or no, not Chalet. I like Chalet. It's very expensive, but I do like Chalet. And Home Depot and Lowe's, not a big fan of those stores. And look, there's more pollen on my finger. Right there. Yeah, but this is Heuchera richardsoni. I think this is a panicle flower cluster right there. And it has lobed and toothed leaves, kind of in cordate shape. And it's flowering right now, so I'm happy about that. And then I have, I almost fell over, Osmundastrum cinnamomum. They changed the genus from Osmunda to Osmundastrum, which is a neat little change. This is the cinnamon fern, and let me get some of the Norway maple leaves out of here. I cut down a little Norway maple tree because it's invasive, and I don't know the scientific name. I'll put it in the video though. So I could get some leaf mulch right here. So Osmodastrum cinnamomum. It's not making sori. Maybe. And this is a deciduous fern. So the leaves of this drop in the fall and stuff like that. This is another Spigelia marlandica. It has, like I said, but there's not much different from it except it's a different cultivar, or a different nativar from the one that I showed previously, and it's about a bloom. Like I said, I want to get rid of it and put in what do you call it? Just the straight raw species wild type in here, but that'll take some time to do if I can find one. I ripped out a Liatris spicata because it was the Florazine white cultivar, and I also ripped out right there by the shovel a Tradescantio hyensis Concord grape because it was a cultivar, and I like I said, I want to get the straight species, but everything else here besides the Spigelia marlandica is the wild type species. Let me get across here. This is the what is this? I think this is Helenum autumnale. Or it could be more Vernania. This right here is Helenum autumnale because it has the winged stems right there. It's winged. And this does not have wing stems. This does not have a wing stem. So that's an immediate difference. The Helenum autumnale has been spreading very aggressively, but I'm happy about that because it's filling in the space which I need to fill in the space, and there's roots from the dreaded Pyrus caloriana tree, the Bradford pear, that I can't cut down because we're trying to sell the house. And then over here, I have the Morvula soria, and so this is the Helenum autumnale again, and here's the Echinacea purpurea, and it's gonna flower later in the season because it usually does. And here's some it's the regular Asclepias incarnata. I got the seeds from North Carolina where I went to college, and I've since graduated, and I planted it here, and I've been watering it so it'll grow and get tall eventually and be some food for the monarch butterflies. So that was another one I put in, and I'm gonna try and only film before and after when I put stuff in because I know that's the content that you guys want to see. And I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if this is a weed or if this is an invasive grass, but I'm going to leave it for now until it flowers. But this might have been Carex pennsylvanica that I put in last year, and it's just now growing, but I don't know. Here's the last one I'm going to do in this video. This is Sedum ternatum, the woodland stonecrop, and you can see it just got done flowering. Yeah, it just got done flowering. And those are the sepals. Yeah, they're the sepals. Those are the sepals. Yeah, those are the sepals right there. And here is some of the Carex pennsylvanica. It's really small right now, but it'll get better. And there's more Carex pennsylvanica right there. And I'm going to put some Andropogon gerardii in there. This will get 6 to 8 feet tall. And I think that ends the video right here, and I'm going to do another update soon. Goodbye.